What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to Legendary Ho for letting me know about this subject. And for future reference, I wanted to just let people know this. I kind of have blinders on right now because I'm really focused on this election, right? So there might be some sports topics that I might be missing. So uh, if you guys, you know, do me a favor, let me hit me up. Some of you guys hit me up through Facebook, hit me up through comment section. Let me know about some of these topics that are going on, and I'll probably do a video about it. But I kind of have blinders on right now. I'm focusing on kind of one specific area, so there might be some stuff I'm missing. All right, so just want to let you guys know that. So Shaq, in his recent podcast, let it be known that he hates front runners, which a lot of us do. And in particular, he was referring to Dwight Howard. All right. So Dwight Howard, and apparently maybe some other Laker players as well, but he was specifically focusing on Dwight Howard. A lot of Lakers players are going on their Instagrams or their social media platforms, and they're pretty much just bragging about winning the championship. Okay, so Dwight Howard got on his Instagram, and he was maybe a little bit excessively fawning about winning the title. Um, so Shaq went on his podcast and basically talking about he's sick of all these. One thing that he doesn't like is all these players who really didn't do much to contribute to the championship. Going on Instagram and just bragging about winning the title. And he was like, I'm saying, you really didn't contribute that much. Take your picture and sit your ass home. I guess he's talking about like take a picture of you with the trophy and send it to your Instagram and sit your ass home or sit your ass down. I said sit your ass home. It's funny how a lot of times we conflate shit. Like, obviously I was thinking to take your ass home and sit your ass down. But look, oh boy. All right. One of the things I've noticed about Shaq, we all know that he doesn't like the White House. Okay, so why doesn't he like the White House? I guess the root of it is he feels that Dwight Howard is an inferior player. And I agree with that. Dwight Howard isn't the player that he was, but he is a Hall of Famer. He is. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer. I know a lot of people gonna look at me like, hey, what are you talking about? He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Dwight Howard, right now, he's only 34 years old now. He'll be 35 in December. Just look this up. I want to be accurate. He has 18,000 plus points, closer to 19,000 than 18,000, and he has over 13,000 rebounds, closer to 14,000 than 13,000. Okay, now look at his resume. I think what was it, 4 or 5 times he led the NBA in rebounding. I think it was 3 times he was the Defensive Player of the Year winner, 3 years in a row. Um, he was an 8-time All Star, slam dunk contest winner in 2008. Now he's an NBA champion. This is a guy that, let's be honest, all right, has been ridiculed for we know what recently, and has been dismissed as a relic from the past. That's another thing we got to kind of give Dwight Howard a little credit on. Dwight Howard has managed to still be a solvent player in an NBA that has passed a guy like him by. You know what I'm saying? Like Dwight Howard was on the precipice of superstardom 10 years ago. Since then, this league has become more of a small man's league. The post game is out. The big man is no longer the focal point of, in any way, shape, or form, of any particular team, except for certain guys with certain skill sets like Anthony Davis. But he has been able to stick around and adjust to the new NBA. And he, accepted he's accepted in his mind, because I think one of the problems that he had was he still thought of himself as a superstar. And apparently with other teams that he's been on, I'm talking about Dwight Howard, he was an asshole because he still thought of himself as the Dwight Howard superstar from 10 years ago. You're no longer a superstar player, you're a journeyman. Okay? So in this aspect, I have to give him some credit. He's only 34 years old. Like I said, he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And when everything is said and done, more than likely, Dwight Howard is going to have over 20,000 points and probably over 15,000 rebounds, even though his production is slowing. He's going to have definitely over 14,000, maybe over 15,000 rebounds. And if he gets over 20,000 points and 15,000 rebounds, that would be some very rarefied air, because when I look at combined ABA, NBA leaders, I combined the ABA and NBA because the NBA was a professional league, and I think it should be included. But when you look at a guy with 20,000 points and 15,000 rebounds, who's up there? Wilt Chamberlain, number one. Okay, and I'm skipping Bill because he didn't have 20,000 points. Moses Malone, 17,834 rebounds. Kareem, all-time leading scorer for right now, 17,440. Artis Gilmore, when you combine ABA and NBA scoring, and 16,330. Elvin Hayes, 16,279 rebounds. And then Tim Duncan. So he would be, if he were to get the 20,000, 15,000, mark, which I think he will, he'll be joined by Wilt Chamberlain, Moses Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Artis Gilmore, Elvin Hayes, and Tim Duncan. Now, you trying to tell me he's not a Hall of Famer? He is. The problem with Dwight Howard is that he just never lived up to his full potential. He didn't live up to his full potential. And, as far as developing his offensive variety of moveset, of moves, and not to say that he had to be, Elijah one, but he just never really, from what coaches and, ex-teammates have said, he just never really took the game as seriously as he should have. He wasn't ready for that. He wasn't ready for the commitment it took to be a great player, or an all-time great player. We saw that with his first stint with the Lakers, when he couldn't handle playing with Kobe Bryant. His mentality wasn't ready for that. He thought it would be easy to win a championship, when it's not. It's not an easy thing to win a championship, uh, really, in any league, in particular the NBA. But this is the difference between Shaq and Dwight Howard, though. If Dwight Howard had took the game as seriously as he could have been close to what Shaq accomplished. But on the same token, Shaq didn't take the he didn't take the game as seriously as he could have from a preparation standpoint. And if he had, maybe he could have been the GOAT. But Shaq is still a top 10-ish player. You know what I'm saying? 10-ish, 12, somewhere in that range. But they have some similarities. They both were drafted by Orlando. They both were superstar players uh, for a spell. Dwight Howard for maybe a 3 year, 4 year window. Shaq for a much longer window. Shaq kind of came into the league as a damn near superstar and kept that up for a little over a decade. But they both transitioned into becoming journeymen. And Shaq did ring chase. Let's not forget that. Shaq did ring chase, for the last segment of his career. When we talk about Cavaliers with LeBron, talk about when he went to Phoenix with Steve Nash and Lamar Stoudemire, I believe, was still there. Even though I think he might have been injured. I don't know. And then, of course, with Boston. By the time he was with Boston, to be honest with you, he was more finished as a player than Dwight Howard is right now. So there's some similarities there, and I think Shaq resents that because Shaq sees himself as a superior player. So I think that's why he's a little harder on Dwight Howard. He doesn't like the comparisons. You know, now with Miami, Shaq wasn't the number one option anymore, but he still was a major contributor to that championship. And of course, Shaq was the main guy for those title runs with the Lakers. But I understand a little bit where Shaq is coming from too. You don't really see, for instance, Mitch Richmond bragging about that title he won in 2002 with the Lakers. Eh, you know, you don't see Ron Harper bragging about the championships he won with the Lakers. Maybe the Bulls, but not the Lakers. Because he really wasn't, I mean, he was really falling off as a player by then. You don't see Robert Parrish bragging about the '97 title with with the Bulls. Excuse me. You get what I'm getting at? Like, look, it's nice to win a championship when you're like Dwight Howard, the ninth ranked player on the team as far as minutes played in the playoffs. But you're not exactly, a vital call. Your role is appreciated, but at this point in Dwight Howard's career, Kentavious Caldwell Pope was a bigger factor in the Lakers' run than he was. So I get where Shaq's coming from. Like Shaq is like, I get where he's coming from in that aspect. Like, okay, look, man, um, you shouldn't be bragging about this title. And I think this is what Shaq is saying too. If he were to win a title with Boston in 2011, he wouldn't be bragging about it. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't be bragging about we won the title. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna tell you where Shaq's coming from. He's probably getting irritated by players like Kendrick Perkins and some of these other bums turned analysts who happen to be fortunate to be on rosters with rosters with actual championship level great players, and they went along for the ride, won a title, but they brag like they were main contributors. Now I'm not including Kenny Smith in this because Kenny Smith was a role player, but he was an essential role player. Kendrick Perkins could keep his 2 points and 3 rebounds to himself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get where Shaq's coming from, but at the same time, I think he's been a little bit too hard on Dwight Howard in this situation. But I guess overall, I would side with Shaq a little bit in this situation, a little bit. Tell me what you guys think.